I'm ready.
Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order and I'll look to my clerk for attendance.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the July 5th Special Committee of the Whole meeting. I'm Jennifer Connor, Clerk of Ramara Township. I'll begin with roll call of council. Mayor Clark.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Bell.
Present.
Councillor Snatch.
Present.
Councillor Fisher.
Present.
Councillor Tuyu.
Present.
Councillor Goff.
Present.
And Councillor Bell. Councillor Bell is not in attendance. She may join later. She may join later. Back to you, Your Worship.
Thank you. The only reason that five of us are in the council chambers, we had a meeting earlier, four of us were here. Three of us had a meeting this morning. We have another one after. So it was just easier to do the meeting from the Richard Bates room than it was to try and run home. So we didn't purposely exclude any council members. I'll ask for disclosure of your interest, any member of council. I can't imagine. If you find yourself in that situation later, please declare it. This is Culture and Recreation. I'll turn it over to the Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. All right, so right now we have a 3.1 Planscape, an introduction to the 2024 Recreation Master Plan and Public Consultation PowerPoint presentation. Okay, we'll hand it over. Who's going to do the presentation? There we go.
Let me see about sharing my screen. Is that still how we want to?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm usually on Teams, so here we go. Just give me a confirmation that you can see that okay?
You can see it, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Good morning, Mayor, Council and staff. We're really pleased to be here today to introduce your project for completing an updated recreational master plan. My name is Debbie Vandenacker. I'm a senior planner with Planscape. We are a consulting firm in Bracebridge. I wrote Gamebridge on my notes, by the way, but that's where I live. My colleague Ryan Lloyd is also on the line, and our summer student Emma is also here with us today. So Ryan is actually leading the project with the day-to-day activities. I am managing the project. So Ryan lives in Beaverton and I live in Gamebridge. So we're really, really happy to be doing a project so close to home. Oftentimes our work takes us, far and away from where we live, but so we're really familiar. We're really happy to be helping in any way we can here. And I have to say, your Subway has saved my dinner time many times in Brecken. So the next slide. Now, let me just see how I'm advancing slides for myself.
If it is easier, Debbie, I can share the presentation for you, and that way you can just say next slide and we can move through.
That's okay. I got it. It was just,
okay.
It's the view with PowerPoint. So my apologies there, everyone. So our project purpose, the purpose of doing this project, and I pulled these quotes out of your RFP. So the Township of Ramara is seeking a skilled consultant to craft an impactful recreation master plan, and the plan will serve as a strategic blueprint shaping the township's capital investments, programs, and events from 2025 to 2035. I actually pulled these quotes out because I really appreciate the wording that was used in your RFP, impactful and strategic. I've been doing this long enough to know that writing reports that are not used to actually improve communities is not something that we're interested in doing. So we really appreciated the wording there. Your second paragraph speaks to it being implementable for council in the short, medium, and long term. Again, really appreciate the objective of doing that. We want to make this as user-friendly and useful for you as we possibly can. So one of the things that this project is going to do is it's going to help you achieve your corporate objectives. This is a screenshot of your very detailed strategic priorities for 2024. This is a great document. We come in at number 4 in the community connections area. And again, your vision talks about preserving rural heritage and unique features. I really think we can help enhance this through your plan, and that you're dedicated to providing valuable municipal services, programs and services to enrich lives. And so the Master Rec plan involves both a look at your facilities and the programs that are offered. So we are in full support of helping you achieve this corporate objective. So this is a list of the project deliverables. Very generally, these are the sort of the hard elements that we will deliver to you. A community and stakeholder engagement plan. There is a specific touch point of your First Nations partners. We know how important this is and what a priority it is to get this right. So that is already in play. We will be doing one-on-one stakeholder interviews. One of the things we know from doing these projects is that the conversations where people can kind of get into, I wish we'd had this, or when I had kids, this would have been amazing, or I would love to be able to do this in the next 5 years. Giving people a platform to have those conversations, it's really important. So we'll make sure that's included. The background report, it is drafted. It is basically a look at market trends and research, what's going on in the surrounding areas, i.e. what facilities does Brock have, what facilities does Aurelia have, all of those kind of things. And so we have been doing this work since been awarded the project. So that report is drafted. There will be a public electronic survey. So what we want to make sure is that everybody has the opportunity to be involved in this project and to speak to it somehow. So an electronic survey is a really good way to catch, especially your seasonal residents who are maybe not sort of as up to speed in the notices and those kind of things. We will provide a summary of those results. So not only when we come out to the public for open houses, but the electronic survey, you'll see exactly what your people have said and what their priorities are, and we'll reflect that in the ultimate plan. We will be looking and creating a report reviewing your facilities that are there. This is not an engineering report. This is not an economic report. This is here's what you have. Is it serving the people that you have? So it's that level of report that we will be providing. Of course, you'll get a draft rec plan that will be consulted on and you can provide input to. We will be keeping you up to date. It's part of what today is about, making sure that council is not only aware, but hopefully excited about this project as well. We'll get you the final master plan and then a final project report. The only difference between those two things is the project report is one of those lessons learned situations so that you can see the full buildup of how we got where we were. So 5 years down the road, somebody can pull that out and say, this is how they did this. We have the record of the comments, all of those things. So that's the only difference between those two reports. We do this by being consistent and constant in our communications with your staff and the guidance committee and your public. We want everybody to feel some ownership in this and hopefully that they're really happy with the outcome. So we make sure that we're very consistent in doing that. This is our project schedule. So we have been in the analysis and review phase now since being awarded the project. And this is really all about getting up to speed on your documentation, visiting sites. Ryan and Emma were with your accessibility committee and visited a bunch of sites. Ryan and I are also very familiar with many more of them. We use your beaches, I play ball, and your diamonds, all those kind of things. So and so drafting that background and engagement report. So those elements are done. Phase 2 happens July and August, and that's all about your people. That's all about the consultation and engagement. It's really great timing actually for the project. We can get to your seasonal residents and make sure that they've got that input. August through October, we'll be assessing your facilities in detail and then drafting the rec plan over those months. And then November and December is really about presenting the draft and then creating the final for your approval. It is ambitious. We are working hard to make sure that we keep that going. A schedule like this, there's the really strong advantage is that you create momentum and you keep it pushing all the way through. There's nothing worse than it falling off and everybody forgetting about it for 6 months and then trying to get back into it. The schedule doesn't permit for that sort of behavior to happen. So we can keep the momentum rolling, which is really helpful. So some of the benefits of doing this project, to repeat myself a little bit, is to achieve that corporate strategic objective, which is a really big win. Always, you get to check that box, which is great. But more than that, you're going to have some actionable tasks and strategic rec priorities, trackable achievements, and an accessible and updatable format. So on top of not wanting to write a report that just sits on your shelf, we want this to be your guide, and we want this to be what everybody checks back in to, and what everybody can say, we did it, excellent. What are we going to look at in the next 5 years? So we really want this to be your guideposts for moving forward with your rec priorities. And then it supports economic development through the township. rural communities, again, we're from rural communities, we have the same sort of challenges and opportunities. Recreation, if you just use your, your new AI bot or just do a quick search on the economic impact of recreational activities, the opportunities are massive. And so we want to, wherever possible, have that lens that this is valuable not only for your current residents' quality of life, but it is a generator and an attractor for your community as well. So one little quote when I was just doing a quick look around for some current research is just that parks are not only about green spaces, they're also vital contributors to economic prosperity. And they really are. I mean, when you look at a community of what's going to support your family goals and your kids and all of those things, parks and rec play a massive role for newcomers into a community. So our next steps are to begin the stakeholder consultation and engagement activities, which includes launching the project webpage. So Ashley and Justine and our team here have been actively engaged in getting those things ready. Launching the opinion survey for residents, conducting public open houses through the summer. We'll do that in multiple places, trying to attract as many folks as we can. Undertaking one-on-one and small group interviews. You will be invited to those individually or in pairs, however this works out for folks' schedule moving forward, so that we can have those longer and more in-depth conversations, make sure we capture the great ideas that people have. And then really the summer is about understanding your public and all stakeholders, how they feel about your existing services and what their facility and programming wants and needs are. You guys know there's a difference between a wish list and what we really need to serve. So we will look at it from that perspective, want, need versus short, long, medium term wish list. So we will do all of those things in the final plan. And so that's about it. This is Ryan and I's contact information. We are happy to always jump on the phone, send us an email. Justine is our point of contact through the township, but we are here and we're hoping to give you a really great product that you can build on. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you have now.
Great. We'll open up to see any questions.
Yeah, just to add to what you say, it does actually matter to industry what kind of recreation you have. We see that all the time, even companies as large as Honda, when they're looking to come to an area, they want to know what's there for their employees, because the biggest trouble now is getting employees. And if there's nothing, if you don't have anything to offer the employees, then they start looking somewhere else. You know, how close are the schools? How close is the hospital? What have you got in far as recreation that's going to entice people to move here and work for our company? So yes, it is important.
Any other questions up there? That's a great start. What is the next steps, I guess, Debbie? What are you getting to next?
Yeah, so thank you. The project website will get launched with the survey. So your residents, you're our first point of contact in terms of introducing the start of the project. And so now this is the larger public launch. Try to get people interested and engaged right away in the process, let them know how they can participate, what we really need to hear from them, and how they can do that. And then we'll have the public open houses. And so we're nailing down sort of dates and locations to make that happen so that people have an in-person opportunity to come. They can hear a presentation, they can ask us questions, they can, write on a map where they would love to see trails connect and give us all of their ideas. That's our next step.
That's great. And you're going to try and balance it out to make sure that we have coverage in each of the wards, so that, Ward 5 in Lagoon City, we have coverage in Brecken and the North End. We just want to make sure everybody gets an equal opportunity to speak.
Absolutely. Each of the communities, as much as we know that we're a whole, each of those communities has sort of specific priorities and almost an individual culture that we want to make sure that we capture.
Wonderful. Thank you. Councillor Fisher.
Thank you. I was just hoping that will this presentation be available on our website, or will we be able to have access to it? Great. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for the question through the chair. You don't mind me jumping in? Yeah, absolutely. All of the presentations will be available. The project website will look sort of like a streaming catchment of all of the project information. So if someone jumps in 2 months from now and they've missed the introduction, they've missed that survey, they still have the opportunity to catch up. So everything will be that's appropriate will be publicly available, including this.
Great. Councillor Bell.
Thank you. Sorry, my apologies that I came in late. I was having trouble getting into, I can't get into my email, so I couldn't get the Zoom link. So first, let me apologize for that. I did hear the last bit of it, and I obviously can review what you said up to date. The one thing I didn't hear, though, is will there be an opportunity other than the one-on-one sessions or the open houses for residents to fill out a survey in any other fashion or method than online? Because we have a challenge with people accessing online.
Right, through the chair again, great question. And yes, we've talked about this quite a bit actually, and trying to piggyback on community events and groups that are already active so we can get hard copies to them. So one example is a euchre group, and I think it's in Longford Mills, for instance. There's a gathering of folks that are already there. They already have a schedule. We can go and we can drop these surveys off and just say, please and thank you if you could take 5 minutes before you leave. So we're working really hard to make sure that we capture as many people and as many formats as we can.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Asked and answered. All right. Any other comments or questions? None? Okay, thank you very much, Debbie. I appreciate it. Can't wait to see the next steps. Were we able to get a hold of some of the schools before they shut down for the summer?
I believe we sent some communication, but I would have to check if we actually got back to them. I can send you an email on that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, I will read the recommendation that we received the presentation from Planscape Inc. Regarding the 2024 Recreation Master Plan and public consultation process as information. Someone put that on the floor. Councilor Goff, second by the mayor. All in favor? That is carried. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you all. Have a great day.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank council for coming in. We knew it'd be a quick meeting, but it was time sensitive. So no, we get in. And Jen, something you wanted to add? You're